Contents unverified. Institutional Review Board Notice, August 19th, 1961. This article has been randomly selected for an institutional review of investigative and documentative best practices. Comments have been left throughout the document in red text. Please address them at your earliest convenience. Item Number: SCP-9012. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-9012 has become obsolete. While the building's exterior remains accessible to the public, the door has been welded shut, chained, and padlocked. All windows have been covered with sheet metal. Description: SCP-9012 is the Bøyra Lighthouse, located in Bøyra, Norway. Constructed in 1857, SCP-9012 is linked to a series of disappearances in the islet from 1889 to 1953. All recorded disappearances are preceded by at least one of the following events. The victim develops insomnia. The victim develops, or already displays, a fascination with machinery and mechanical engineering. The victim develops severe cravings for salt. The victim's desire to socialize is diminished. The victim reports a feeling of being watched from within SCP-9012. No more than one individual disappears at a time. The shortest span of time between disappearances is 10 months. This may be a consequence of Bøyra's small population. Unnecessary speculation, IRB. Despite this, the symptoms expressed by the victim are often simultaneously expressed by several other people on the islet who do not disappear. For this reason, it is extremely difficult to predict who exactly will disappear, even when the victim expresses the above symptoms. The existence of a beast man in or around SCP-9012 remains unconfirmed. Discovery: SCP-9012 was discovered in 1952 by Site Director Richard Langford. Whilst visiting family in Norway, Langford became aware of a local rumor surrounding a string of disappearances in the islet of Bøyra. Some reported a beast man that lived inside of SCP-9012 and kidnapped people at night. The local police, unaware of Langford's position within the Foundation, denied his request for records of disappearances. After returning from his trip, SCP-9012 was given a temporary designation. Due to the lack of available information concerning its anomalous properties, an in-person investigation was deemed necessary. Were there further attempts to retrieve police records prior to the in-person investigation? If so, they should be listed here. IRB. Initial Investigation. Director Langford was granted permission to lead the SCP-9012 investigation. His selected team included 4 researchers: Steve Garvey, Tobias Wagner, James Michaels, Emmett Cole, and no additional personnel. While it was standard practice at the time for an investigation of over 3 non-security personnel to have a security officer present, an exemption was made due to the increased attention a security officer on the islet would bring. A request for 1 female D-Class was made initially. Why? IRB. Then withdrawn over concerns that a D-Class could not be securely held in the temporary investigation facility, especially without a security officer present. A timeline of events is included below. January 7th. Initial exploration of SCP-9012 finds the lighthouse to be unremarkable. There are no signs of human or animal activity aside from several cobwebs and an abandoned bird nest. January 8th. James Michaels reports that several recurring elements of SCP-9012, such as the height of each step and the width of each glass pane, consistently measure to be precise multiples of 5 centimeters, e.g., 10 centimeters, 125 centimeters, etc. When the measurements of other researchers disprove this, he becomes adamant, accusing his colleagues of undermining him. Langford accepts Michael's measurements, while also privately accepting the contradictory measurements. In private, he advises the other team members to prevent Michaels from exploring SCP-9012 alone. January 9th. At 5:32 a.m., Tobias Wagner, James Michaels, and Steve Garvey accidentally meet in the facility kitchen. All personnel had entered the kitchen due to trouble sleeping. While eating dinner later that day, Langford observes a humanoid silhouette near SCP-9012. Upon further investigation, The team does not find any abnormal people/entities in or around SCP-9012. January 10th. While walking along the beach, Michaels reports seeing a tall, hairy figure climbing the cliffs near SCP-9012. The figure allegedly reaches the top of the cliff and breaks line of sight before Emmett Cole, who is present with Michaels, is able to observe it. January 12th. Michaels ceases eating dinner with the rest of the investigation team, instead eating his food at his desk. January 14th. Michaels reports a figure watching him from within SCP-9012, ducking away whenever he looks at it. Vague. A detailed written or oral report should have been collected from Michaels at the time of the incident. If the figure was nondescript, that should be mentioned here. It is currently unclear whether this is the same entity that Michaels saw on January 10th, or that Langford saw on January 9th. IRB. Upon investigation, SCP-9012 is empty. January 15th. After eating dinner, Wagner attempts to contact Michaels and finds him absent from his desk. Despite every door and window in the facility remaining locked, Michaels is unable to be located. Approximately 2 to 4 ounces of his hair are found scattered throughout SCP-9012. Fur from the previously observed entity, if any, is indistinguishable from Michaels' hair. January 20th. The search for James Michaels is called off. Langford updates SCP-9012's temporary designation to its current anomalous classification. Initial investigation of SCP-9012 concludes early due to sufficient data collection and loss of productivity within the investigation team. Aftermath. 2 years after the initial investigation, a second lighthouse was constructed in Buera. Was this lighthouse in construction during the initial investigation? If so, this should have been mentioned previously, as it may have influenced SCP-9012's anomalous properties. IRB. This renders SCP-9012 obsolete, allowing the Foundation to render it inaccessible to the public. No disappearances related to SCP-9012 have been reported following the disappearance of James Michaels and the subsequent implementation of SCP-9012's current containment procedures. SCP-9012's status has been updated to safe. Addendum. During the spring of 1970, as part of the Better Containment Initiative, an independent investigation was launched into the efficacy of the special containment procedures for multiple anomalies. SCP-9012 was included in this investigation due to being unvisited by the Foundation for over a decade. While no disappearances related to SCP-9012 were found after January of 1953, a local news article reported that the corpse of an unidentified man was found at the base of the cliffs near SCP-9012. The body was found on the morning of January 8th and had several broken bones, likely indicating a fall from the top of the cliffs. Due to decay and significant damage to the skull, the identity of the body remains indeterminate. However, due to the small population of the islet, local police believe that the body does not belong to any residents of Buera. Addendum. To prevent data breaches from retired Foundation members suffering from dementia, the Foundation requires in-house end-of-life care to faculty members with a family history of Alzheimer's. One recipient of this care was former SCP-9012 researcher Tobias Wagner. On February 4th, 2005, Wagner asked his Foundation-provided nurse to dictate a message. We have that lighthouse on file. The one I explored with Michaels, Garvey, Langford, Cole. It was 53, wasn't it? The lighthouse that swallowed people. The guys and I regret it. We were so stupid. Langford assigned the D class and he let the pretty ones... He made these deals with them. If we met them in their cells, and they let us... We'd convinced ourselves we were saving lives by reassigning them to safer anomalies. I don't know how. He called it a win-win. That made it fucking fair. The things we did, there's no... Christ. Jimmy found out we were all doing it. All the guys. He wanted to tell the higher-ups, as if he could pick up the phone and just call 05s. I thought he was bluffing. He was a good kid, but I don't think he actually had a plan. They were scared of him, that he'd pull the trigger. I think I was scared too. Langford puts in some fucking report about a lighthouse in Norway. Preliminary evidence says the Foundation should investigate. He knew they would say yes. He offers to send all of us to go look at it. Jimmy, he told Jimmy it would be him or the D-Class. That was how we convinced him. He tells us it's going to be a retreat. Everyone but Jimmy, of course. Some Norwegian camping trip on Foundation money. Yeah, scotch, and on that first night, we were all so young. We were like animals, and they kept pouring more for Jimmy. We were so drunk, and they let him walk outside, behind the lighthouse, where the cliffs are. And they hardly pushed him. I didn't even see him fall. We were so drunk. And one of the guys went to pee off the side of the cliff. And we just went back inside. Played cards, like nothing happened. We kept doing that for a week or two. And then we went home. I didn't stop them. I couldn't stop them. They would have pushed me too. And what would I say? I would have been dead. We were awful. And we made up that story about him seeing things and getting eaten. It was just a regular lighthouse. I have dreams about it, where they're pushing him again. And I can't stop it. I can't move. He was so young, and I still see him. At that age, he's in my dreams too. He's at the edge of my bed, covered in seaweed, staring at me. He knows what I did. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. Wagner died of heart complications before Foundation staff could question him. His testimony is currently unverified.